Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On the bench today, we've got the Slash, and as you can see, she's a bit of a dirty girl.
Oh my god, sorry, that was a bad video. Oh, that was a good little drive-by. It was pretty cool to see it like drive by with the dust and stuff.
Alright, as you can see, that was tons of fun. Kicked up a shitload of dust, dirt, making a mess. My favorite kind of bashing. Fortunately, it's kind of hard on the truck. Got her kind of caked. Hit a thermal shutdown a couple times. So I'm gonna take it apart, give her a deep clean, rebuild the shocks, change out the bearings like I've been meaning to do. This is my first time doing kind of long form content, so we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. Alright, let's get to it. Got the Slash outside. Got this really cool battery operated portable pressure washer. If you're like me, you don't have outside access to water. And let's get her cleaned up. Works pretty well to get the gunk off. Alright, we'll stick that in a nice warm spot in the sun to dry and then tear into it. The way to do a teardown is to separate the truck into three separate areas. Focus on, which will be the front axle assembly, the rear axle assembly, and the chassis. Started by removing the sway bar bolts from the front and rear. Then I flipped the truck over, removed the bolts holding the assemblies together as well as the front bumper while I had it upside down. Going to remove the rear axle assembly, then I'm going to pull the front apart and start there. Okay, now that I have the front and rear axle assemblies removed from the chassis, just kind of trying to show you how dirty all the gunk and shit that gets in there is on the rear. All that buildup, nasty gunk can get into your diff, interfere with the pinion and ring gear in there. Same with the front. You can just see it's still dirty even though we just pressure washed it out. So, rear diff, it's pretty nasty in there. We're going to get it all cleaned up, make her look all pretty again. Here I'm checking the suspension travel, and notice how the arms are sticking up and down. This is going to be something that I want to fix, as they should move freely. Now that I'm going back together, I'm verifying that the suspension travel moves freely and there's no binding. I over-tighten the bolts a little bit, which requires me to loosen them just a bit to make sure it moves freely, but I don't want them to back out. It's a balancing act trying to find the right torque. I'm compressing the shock, and you can see how when it expands, it's a little bit spongy. So we're going to go ahead and just put fresh oil in since we're doing a full bearing set. A little trick I picked up is to use a disposable cup water bottle. That way you can just throw it away with no mess. I forgot to remove the spring before trying to get all of the oil out. Makes life a little bit harder. It's important to get as much of the old oil out of the shock as you can, especially if you were changing shock oil weight, because they could mix in there and make a nasty kind of gunk, and you won't get that nice smooth retraction and compression of the shock. So I'm just kind of banging it out, trying to get as much of that old used oil out as I can. Now when I go to refill it, I'm gonna push the piston all the way up, add a little bit of oil to it until it just bubbles below the rim. Slowly pull the piston down until I see the air bubbles stop. Add a little more oil, pull it down just a little bit more, rinse and repeat until the piston is all the way extended. I don't know if you can tell in the video much of a difference, but it's much smoother when it extends.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
After spending a few hours researching, I discovered that I fried the thermal protection inside the ESC. So stay tuned for part 2 when we put in a brand new motor, speed controller in her, and we'll really see what she can do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.